Good morning, guys. So, where I am, it is currently raining, and there are a few things that I did want to talk about concerning the current transits that are going on, have already happened, and then some of those that are coming. I have not done my monthly forecast for as astrology forecast, but I am going to do my best to get that up for you guys. So on December 1st, we had new moon in Sagittarius, and then we had Mercury that went into retrograde on the 25th of November. The thing about that whole transit, it's a time for you to reconnect with yourself, your energy, and the things that you want. Normally around this time, this is when people set their goals for the next year. So in my opinion, I would advise that you guys begin to set realistic goals. Give yourself some time to meet your goals by setting short and long-term goals. All right? These transits are going to help you fulfill the dynamics that you need to fulfill for 2025. Okay, so I would set short-term and long-term goals. Then that way you're not trying to give yourself to the time to, oh, well, I have to get this done in a month, or I have to get this done in a few weeks. So set realistic goals with a realistic time frame. All right, some of you have goals where fitness is concerned, where school, career is concerned. So just try to be realistic about that. So the second thing that we have coming up, which is going to be on December 6th. Now, depending on where you live, Mars is going to go into retro at 6:33 p.m. All right. Now, for a lot of you, especially if you're a fire sign, you may feel a lot of aggression at this time. And honestly, you have to look at when this is happening. It's happening in December 6th. So it's pretty much the end of the year, and you're going to be surveying over the whole entire year. There are going to be things that you're looking at that you didn't say, that you wanted to say. There are going to be positions that you were in throughout the year, and you may or may not have felt like you didn't get to say everything you want, or people were not there for you how you felt like they should be, or just whatever the case, whatever it is that you were going through this year that really, could have put you in a bad spot, or whatever it is. You could be very aggravated over that, especially with the holidays. You could have, been celebrating Thanksgiving and could have got odd looks, or someone could have said something about how your life is going, just anything, because this does happen to a lot of people. Maybe not everyone, but for a lot of people, this is something that is very, very real, and something that they do suffer with because they're not able to say what they need to say. And this has been coming up in readings as well, about you guys' energy, not being able to take your power back, not being able to stand on how you feel, your boundaries not being respected. So I want to remind you that with Mars retrograde and this aggression coming in, you definitely have to watch your anger. Because if you have so much pent up energy, so many pent up emotions, you're going to explode on someone. All right. And you're still not going to be able to say everything that you want to say or everything that you need to say. And in personal experience, I've learned two things. It is best that you get those things off your chest, because when you do not get things off your chest, then you carry that weight around with you of not being heard and not saying what you want to say. And then for some of you, you may say, well, I don't care about what people think, but then in the inside you're like, okay, well, I still didn't get to say what I wanted to say, and they feel like this, and I don't like that. I should have been able to say what I wanted to say. And then for some of you, you're like, it doesn't even matter because no response is my response from now on from everyone else, because they're just not getting any more energy out of me. Whatever you choose, always put yourself and your feelings first, because you matter. You know, what you do have to say, it does matter. How you feel, it matters. And whatever you choose, you know, is entirely up to you. But don't be overruled by the emotions of anger, because it's going to foreshadow everything that you're trying to work on. And you don't really want to allow this transit to get you to become aggressive, to become angry and bitter. All right, like there's enough of that energy out here anyway. And if you've been watching my readings, you know there's a lot of bitter people out here, okay? And why do we have to deal with bitter people? We have to deal with bitter people so we can learn more about ourselves. I often say people teach me how not to be. You know, they teach me what not to do. And in some of these instances, you are here to learn those same things and other things. So just, you know, take one day at a time. You know, don't focus too much on a certain area. Focus on self-love. Focus on healing. Because a lot of people are saying, oh, I'm healed. I've done my healing journey. I'm healed. But you find out through dealing with certain situations, you find out that certain things trigger you. And you find out that you were not as healed as you thought you were, and that is okay, because there's room for growth always in those areas. All right, but you don't want to become a ball of toxicity because you are harboring all these emotions and things like that. If you decide to let those things go, then LIG it and let it go and go on about your life. Do what it is that you want to do. Be who it is that you want to be, and be happy within your own life and your own dynamic. Never let anyone force you to do what it is you don't want to do, especially to my people who are going to school, are looking into a certain career, because family definitely hits us with the, oh, well, such and such did this. Everyone in the family does this. So this is the type of family we are. You have to do what you are guided to do, because if you don't, then you'll just end up being miserable, and being miserable is not okay. Like I said, there's enough of that energy around already, so we don't really need to add to it. All right. We also have on December 7th, Venus entering Aquarius. All right. So this is going to be the pigment of a lot of love. You guys may be feeling a lot of love energy. You may be connecting with your self-love more. You may just be in the energy of love, in the energy of peace. And for some of you, you may or may not want to be bothered. You may want to go and be in hermit mode, and that is completely fine. Do whatever it is you need to do in the area of love. Maybe you feel like forgiving someone. Maybe you're forgiving yourself for the first time. Whatever it is, do it gracefully, all right, under this energy, because that will definitely help you guys on your road forward, especially towards your goals within this next coming year. We also have Neptune going direct. All right. So a lot of things that were coming into manifestation for you, or you were manifesting, they're going to be coming into fruition. All right. You may be getting good news on this day, or during the week of the 7th, the week after the 7th, or within the next few weeks, actually. For some of you, your intuition is still going to be heightened with Neptune direct. A lot of you have been receiving a lot of dreams. You've been receiving a lot of intuitive guidance, knowledge, visions. It's just been so much, and you may or may not have known what to do with that energy. So the best thing to do with that energy is to journal it down. If you are a reader, or if you're someone who does have a deck of cards, go to your cards and see what your cards are advising you to do about what you are seeing, hearing, feeling, or experiencing. Same way with, if you're not into cards, maybe if you scour YouTube, to look at different readers, to see what they have to say about your intuition, then, go to your go-to readers and see if anything resonates with you. Journaling is very important because although you may not understand something at that very moment, you may understand it later on. All right. So definitely journal everything. All right. So we have first quarter coming up, first quarter moon coming up on the 8th. That is a perfect time to start new things. It is the perfect time to go ahead and put your goals into action as well. And then on the 15th, we have full moon in Gemini coming up. All right. So full moon in Gemini is like a two-handed peril, because there are always two sides when it comes to Gemini. Like I said, for some of you, you may feel one way one day, and then you may feel one way the next day. So if you feel like you ever get out of character, most people just like blame it on the moon. But that is a sign that you need to research your own emotions, your own feelings, and process what you're really going through. And I can't stress that enough, because it is the holidays. And because it's the holidays, a lot of people are struggling with their emotions. A lot of people have family members that they would normally celebrate the holidays with who are no longer here, and that's really, really hard to deal with. And a lot of people don't know how to deal with that. And if you are struggling with that, my advice would be, instead of staying at home, maybe find some friends or some family that you feel comfortable with to go and be with them that day. So you're not at home crying and putting yourself in a very sad and bad place, which could possibly lead you to drinking and doing drugs. That is not good for you. I say that because when I was channeling yesterday for the messages for your loved ones from beyond, the card came out, and I felt someone's energy so strong that was like, they really need to stop drinking. Like, I do not like what I am seeing them do. And when those cards came out to confirm that energy, I was just like, I really have to say something. I did do a recording, I would say, I think it was like back at the end of October, but I never put it up because I had been so busy. So I do want to say those things now. Definitely talk to someone. If it's a counselor, if it's a hotline, if it's a person that you could trust, anyone. My inbox, you guys, my email is always open to you guys. Some people I do have to stop talking to because they want me to answer things, but then they don't want to, do the reading. They just want me to answer all their questions intuitively. So some people I do have to, set my own boundaries with. However, for people who are going through something like this, that is completely different, because you're someone who needs to talk. You're someone who needs an outlet. You do need some form of counseling. And if you do decide to work with me, I do have sessions, venting sessions even available on my website at www.thebrewhouselair.com. So I always try to be here for you guys in any way that I can. And if you are going through anything where you lost a loved one, you guys do have my most sincerest and deepest condolences. And I really hope you get through this. And if you need my help, I will help you get through this, because you are not alone. You're not alone as you think you are. The holidays can be very rough for a lot of people, and I believe it gets so overshadowed because no one in turn thinks about what people are actually going through. Everyone is so concerned with food and doing their own thing that they kind of forget that there are other people who either don't celebrate the holidays like me, and or those people have lost people that they did celebrate the holidays with, and those people are no longer there. And, you know, everyone says one day at a time, just move on, it'll go away. But it's not that easy. My brother has been gone for 24 years, and I'm mourning my brother every day. So, you know, for a lot of people, 24 years was a long time ago, but for me, it still feels like yesterday. So everyone has their own grieving process. And if you know someone who's grieving, definitely respect their process. Don't just tell them to get over it, or, you know, be so nonchalant in what they're feeling, because their feelings are valid. All right. Everyone's feelings are valid. All right, you guys. So moving forward, we have Mercury going direct on the 15th. All right. Now, for a lot of you, I don't know what information that you have or may not have on Mercury, but a lot of people, I would definitely say these people have no inclination of what Mercury really does, because a lot of people give Mercury a bad rep. Mercury is about communication. And us being at the end of the year and us being within the Mercury retrograde, a lot of you, which is why I keep saying it, are going to communicate how you feel, because it is weighing so heavily upon you and your energy. All right. So definitely do those things in a positive way. It's all about how you say things. All right. If no one wants to listen to you, if they don't want to hear what you have to say, then you have to understand, my loves, that it is not something dealing with you. It is something dealing with them, because they don't even understand, understand, or overstand how to process the emotions of someone else. Now, for a lot of people who have that problem, you have to realize that you're dealing with someone who doesn't understand those things until it happens to them. So when they're in that position, that's when they more so become into that understanding. So it's nothing that you did. It's nothing really that you said. It's just like a battle with them and them being at war with themselves. And sometimes you do have to step away from people and just let them be at war with themselves, because I know I've definitely had to do it within my lifetime. I walk away from a lot of things instead of dealing with confrontation, because I realized through going through personal things with people that a lot of them have their own mind made up. And when someone has their mind made up about who you are, what you're giving, what you're not giving, what you're doing, what you're not doing, how you're doing things, etc., 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 whatever it is, they have their mind made up about you, your situation, whatever it is, they're already in their feels about how they feel about you. So there's nothing that you can say, there's nothing that you can do that can change their mind. So you have to realize that that is something that they have to deal with on their own healing journey. All right. And these people will say that they're completely healed. They don't have any problems, but they will be able to point out everything that you allegedly did wrong. And then them, when it comes to them, they're perfectly perfect human beings and they've never made a mistake. When the truth is that you know, they know, most importantly, and others may know that they are complete liars and they've done things. But instead of them wanting to admit what they've done, they like poking around in other people's business and trying to make up things or say things, even if there were things that you actually did do. But they love to point those out. And not trying to be rude and just say that all of these people have demonic attachments. A lot of those people do have demonic attachments, evil attachments, and other attachments, and so they can't hear you. They're confused within their own energy and the energies that they are dealing with that are attached to them. So it's like nothing that you could really say that will get them to understand you. So it's kind of like, don't really waste your time on that. All right. So on December the 21st, a lot of you guys celebrate the 21st. If you know, you know. You have the sun entering Capricorn. All right. Now, please, my love, don't tap into this stubborn energy. A lot of you ask me, why don't I like Capricorns? Some of them are cool, but a lot of them are very, very, very stubborn. Okay. Like they say, you can't lead a horse to water. Right. It's that type of energy. Like, you can tell them things. You could tell them things. They're going to do whatever they want. They're just like Taurus. They're just like any other horn sign, really. With a lot of horn signs, you can't tell them anything. They say that about Aries too, but with Aries, it's more so a lot of the people in my personal situations who've tried to lead me to do things or think certain things, those people were ass jacked and had no idea what they were talking about, didn't know what they were doing. They were kind of like the type of people who know what you should do in your situation, but like have no answers to their own situation. And surveying my life, researching my life, I believe I made all the right decisions in a lot of areas, especially where my career was concerned, where school was concerned. Because a lot of people told me, oh, you shouldn't go to school. You just had a baby and you're trying to go to law school. Well, going to law school paid off, right? Yes, I did just have a child, and having a child would be more reason to go to law school and get your shit together, Even with now, people are like, you just signed up to go to Harvard and now you're pregnant. Okay, your point is what again? Because anything that betters you, anything that betters your finances, your career, whatever it is, because a lot of people forget that I have a school, and the more things that I take, the more programs I can offer at my school. Empress Hustle University and He Hustle University. And if you are interested in my school, you can go look up my school by going to www.empresshustleuniversity.com. It is a very great organization. We have sororities, fraternities, we have a whole bunch of good stuff going on there. But for me, I'm just one of those people who I'm into a lot of things. I love to stay busy. And I feel like a lot of you are very goal oriented. And this is why you follow my channel. And I love you guys so much for that. So I'm always going to share information with you guys just so I can, help you guys out. So you guys can follow your dreams like I did. Yes, I'm 39 years old and I'm pregnant. However, what does that mean? I have so much life in me. I have so much energy. I have so much information and knowledge to give because I did dedicate my time to going to school, studying, and learning not only about the world or the universe, but things like law, things like astrology was actually something my dad who raised me taught me because he was into like law, trigonometry, astrology, and he also fought in the war. So like he did a whole bunch of different things. He built planes. Like, he was such an amazing man. But we also have the last quarter moon coming up, and that is when you always ask me what you should do about your hexes. Last quarter moon is the time that you want to break any hexes, jinxes, curses, crossings that are on you. You guys ask me what you can do. If you do not want to go to a practitioner, go to a botanica, get you a hex breaker candle, dress your candle, and go from there. You can use different hex breaking things to dress your candles or whatnot, but never try to substitute anything for something else. And then if you don't know what you're doing, I'm going to tell you, leave it in the hands of the professionals. Because even going to get a candle from Botanica, it may or may not work. Now, I do have items that I sell for that, but a lot of people ask, well, why don't you have a location? I don't have a location because, not that I have anything against Botanicas, but I don't like people coming up in the shop and want to touch everything. Like, that is like one of my biggest pet peeves, because a lot of the people who are coming in the shop, they have things on them and they're looking to have them removed. So imagine them touching the crystals, just touching everything. Like, it's almost like a spiritual contagious disease, in my opinion. So I rather sell my things online. But yeah, if you want to shop with me, you guys know the website. If you don't, it's on the top of my channel. And if you don't, that is completely fine with me. Just if you have a spiritual advisor or you're spiritual, then definitely use the last quarter moon to break any and all hexes, or at least try to anyway, to break some of the stuff that is on you. All right. So we have a few more things coming up this month. We have Chrion going direct. All right, you guys know Chrion is about healing. So I've been talking about healing this whole time, so I'm not going to go into that. We have new moon in Capricorn. And then on the 31st, we have Pluto sextile in true node. All right, so there are a lot of great things happening this month. If I can, I will get my astrology forecast up so you guys can see it. I will try to say a couple things within my videos that I do for you guys as well. I love you guys. Thank you for listening, and I will see you in the next one.